So let's take a look at question 21 from 1.2. It says, given the functions f and g in the same rectangular coordinate system, describe how the graph of g is related to the graph of f. So we have these two functions here. So it says use the graphing tool to graph the functions. So I'm going to click this to enlarge it, and then I'm going to graph those functions. So in order to graph that function, these are the functions that they give me are x squared, negative x squared, and negative x squared plus 10. So let's take a look at that. If I was to graph it, I need some points to graph. So for y is equal to negative x squared, let's make a table. And I'm going to pick some points around the origin, and I'm going to plug them in. Now we have to be careful when plugging these in, because we have this negative sign here, and it's outside the x squared. So inside the x squared, I'm going to put in negative 2. So what will happen here is the negative 2 squared will become positive, and I will get negative 4. And then I repeat the same process, and I plug in negative 1. Negative 1 squared will become positive, and this will be negative 1. 0 will just give me 0. When I put in positive 1, 1 squared is 1, so I'm still going to get 1, and then for 2 I would still get, I'm sorry, negative 1, because 1 squared is 1, and then the opposite of that is negative 1. So here are my points. And so in order to plot using the MyLab math, you're going to hit the parabola shape. It's a squaring function, so it has this parabola shape. And then you have to, it says selected 3-point quadratic tool. So I have to pick 3 points. So I'm going to pick 0, 0. And then I'm going to pick another point. I could do negative 2, negative 4. And notice how when I'm selecting it, it shows the point I'm selecting up here on the top right. And then I'm going to pick the point positive 2, negative 4. So notice in the yellow bar. So now I have it, and I'm going to click save. Now I'm not done here because I have to do both. So let's go back to it, and let's do the other one. So the other one said, let me move this to see it. It says plus 2, or plus 10. So I'm going to go back here, and if it was plus 10, if I plug in negative 2 here and add 10, this would have been negative 4, and then plus 10, y would be equal to 6. So I'm creating my new table, I would have positive 6. And then negative 1, negative 1 squared would be positive 1, but that's the opposite of that, so negative 1. So I'd get 9. And then I keep repeating that process. So here, 0 and 0 can't have a negative 0, so let's just put 0 plus 10, I get 10. So, and you'll notice that the points that you had, you would take them and just add 10 to them. So here we would have 9 again, and here we would have 6 again. So now let's plot those points here. So I'm going to use this tool again, and 0, 10 would be up here. Oops, I'm off. So if you make a mistake, just hit clear. And 0, 10, so just make sure in the yellow box. And then I've got negative 1, 9, and I've got positive 1, 9. And then I'm going to hit save. And now I'm going to hit check answer. And it tells me well done. And then it says, well, how is this graph of G related to F? So reading through all of these, remember F is this one here. And the graph of G is shifted. It's like I took this graph and I copied and pasted it and I shifted it up this way. So if you're shifting up this way, it's a vertical shift. So that rolls out the 2 down here. And it's vertically upward, so it's part B. And then I'm going to hit check answer, and I've got it correct.